As the sun sets over the Tanzanian savanna, it paints the horizon in strokes of crimson and gold. The crackle of a campfire echoes through the temporary camp where the Hadza, Africa's last great hunter-gatherers, live out their unhurried, ancient existence, deeply intertwined with the rhythms of nature. Near the glowing embers, a woman sits. Her calm, direct gaze lingers on a man who has just returned from a successful hunt, his prize slung over his shoulder. A faint smile touches her lips, and in that slight movement, something important is already understood. Then, with a nod, she indicates the empty space beside her. No words, no vows, no grand declarations are needed. Just a look, a gesture, an invitation understood by everyone who lives by the unspoken laws of their ancestors. Because for the Hadza, everything is different, profoundly so. Even what our world calls love and relationships. In their world, there are no lavish wedding ceremonies, no vows exchanged in houses of worship or sealed by legal documents. The kind of monogamy we know, locked in by paper or complex rituals, simply doesn't exist here. People live in the moment, guided by the absolute free will of two souls, unbound by any external force. In their unique society, a man does not own a woman, and a woman never becomes anyone's property. If she decides to leave, to change her situation, or simply to move on, it is her unconditional choice, and no one dares to object. Not her father, not her closest kin, not even the man who was her partner yesterday. Here, every person's freedom is met with profound respect, and this reverence permeates every aspect of their unwritten code of life. While people in urbanized societies build complex relationships based on contracts, expectations, and mutual obligations, the Hadza reveal a completely different reality. Their bonds are built purely on genuine desire, not on burdensome obligations. A couple might be together today, sharing food, the warmth of the fire, and the joys of being, and apart tomorrow. And in this, there is no drama, no blame, no broken promises that could disrupt their inner harmony. This isn't indifference, but rather the deepest understanding of human nature. True intimacy and genuine connection are born only from inner readiness and free choice, not from external pressure or social norms. A Hadza woman is not just a participant, but the true driving force of the tribe, its intellectual and social core. She bears as much responsibility for providing food as a man, and often more, as her contribution to the tribe's diet is more consistent. Her hunting skills are remarkable, rivaling the men's, but when it comes to gathering fruits, berries, and roots, she is second to none, possessing a vast knowledge of the savanna's plant life. She is not only a provider, but also a wise leader who makes important, thoughtful decisions affecting the entire group's life. For instance, if she chooses to move the camp in search of new resources, her word carries significant weight and is deeply respected. If she decides the target of the next hunt should be big game, they listen and trust her intuition. This strength also shows in her initiative, in her ability to act as she sees fit, including in her relationships. She might be the first to approach a man, offering to share her dinner by the fire, one of the most open and sincere ways to express interest. And if her interest in a partner fades over time, she will just as directly walk away, offering no explanation, and her choice will be met with absolute understanding and respect. For the Hadza, flirting isn't a sophisticated game with rules, but a natural part of daily life, a process as rhythmic and organic as hunting or gathering wild fruit. A smile by the fire, a shared journey for food, a portion of a rare and valuable catch, all can be a gentle prelude to deeper intimacy. Their silent yet incredibly expressive language of desire is conveyed through adornments. Intricately crafted beads from seeds and pits, necklaces made of various natural materials, and complex body paintings done with ochre. Every symbol, every element of jewelry carries a deep, subtle, and complex code understood by every member of the tribe. A change in jewelry, a particular pattern, or even the specific placement of beads on a necklace can signal an invitation, a silent question of mutuality, or even a delicate sign of farewell. This nonverbal communication allows them to express feelings and intentions without a single word, with deep respect for each person's private space. When two people decide to share a moment of intimacy, it happens solely by their free and mutual consent, without any hint of external pressure or future obligations. After such a union, no one demands promises. No one asks, "So, what happens now?" There is only a deep respect for the moment they shared and for each person's right to go their own way. Here, freedom of the body is a direct and literal reflection of freedom of the spirit. In the Hadza tribe, this is not hidden or condemned. On the contrary, it is considered a natural part of existence. Their intimacy is like a deep, sincere exchange of souls, after which all that remains is the understanding that everyone is free to do as they please. He who cannot let go will never know true freedom, a philosophy the Hadza live out every single day. If a man invited to a campfire one night is a stranger the next, he leaves without argument or resentment, understanding it's not a personal rejection, but simply a shift in another person's inner course. A new life in the Hadza tribe is a great gift for the entire community, seen as a shared treasure. The concept of fatherhood is much more fluid and collective than in our society. What matters isn't biological ties, but one's contribution to the collective, caring for and helping raise the younger generation. A man who shared a fire with one woman today might be with another tomorrow, and yet he will be equally caring and attentive to any child in the tribe. Raising a child is everyone's business. Every adult shares their knowledge, experience, care, and support. The entire group becomes one big, cohesive home, where everyone feels a deep connection and all-around support. Unlike our rigid family trees, the main thing here is the collective well-being and survival of the group. The Hadza have none of the institutions familiar to the modern world. No prisons, police, banks, complex government, or bureaucracy. They have no private property in our sense of the word, no money, and no hierarchies as we know them. Yet, they exist in their own remarkable way, preserving a unique culture and profound wisdom gifted to them by the wild savanna and their own spirit. Everything nature provides is acquired through collective effort, and the fruits of that labor are immediately and fairly shared among all members of the tribe. Their home is not a permanent structure, but a temporary camp that can be packed up in a day. Their road is the ancient forest trails and the starry African sky, and their hearth is the campfire they light and leave behind when the path calls them onward. Here, they don't divide property. They share the fire whose warmth belongs to all. They don't build fences to wall each other off. Instead, they build trust, because only trust can hold such free and independent people together. The absence of private ownership of people and things frees them from disputes based on envy and resource competition. Here, cooperation isn't a necessity, it's a natural, self-evident way of life. The world of the Hadza is not just an exotic lifestyle, it is a living lesson in simplicity and the incredible power of the human spirit, a lesson in harmony with nature and with oneself. They have no leaders as we know them, no rulers, no written laws beyond tradition and deep respect. They show us that it's possible to live a full life without vows or formal ties, unaware of the frames and limitations we take for granted. They know how to find true joy in simple things, a successful hunt, a shared meal, the warmth of a fire, and boundless trust in one another. Their daily lives are a vivid example of complete independence, deep respect for another's choice, and the unique ability to let go of what leaves on its own. The world of the Hadza is a story of people who don't need promises for tomorrow because they live completely in the here and now, never hoarding possessions or fighting for power. The core values in their society are honesty, genuine support, and mutual respect. They do not fear loneliness, for they are always surrounded by those with whom they share everything, from food to the deep joy of life. Amid the vast savannas of Tanzania, the Hadza continue their ancient journey, a rare example of a people living in absolute freedom, a true bastion of independence and harmony. Their path is one of movement without borders, the embodiment of a pure truth about human freedom and harmony with the world.